Hello friends, today I am going to be talking with y'all about my art goals for my business for 2026. I will be going over my art business kind of in summary for this past year for 2025, and I will also be sharing with y'all some art I have been working on for a PNGtuber for my wife and I, as we have been doing a little bit of Twitch streaming. So anyway, I will be sharing a little bit of my process with making the PNGtuber artwork while I'm talking about this, because I know it's only so interesting to look at a talking head for so long. I'm going to talk about my general kind of goals for the following year for what I want my art to look like, what I want my YouTube to look like, my art business in general. So pretty much this entire year I have been in survival mode, and not just me, but my whole family, my whole friend group, we're all kind of in survival mode right now, and things are fine, things are okay. But there was a lot of health stuff going on for a lot of us, and I have not been able to put the energy toward my art that I would like to, because we've had to support each other, and that's fine. You know, our health has to come first at the end of the day. But I really want to get out of that survival mode this coming year. I have been working on the mental health side of things pretty extensively, and I'm very tired, but I do feel like I have made progress and that things are more positive than they were before. Continuing to talk about this here, because I've been in survival mode, because my family has been in survival mode and trying to take care of each other, I just haven't been able to make the amount of art that I would like to. I haven't been able to do the amount of events or shows or conventions or markets that I would like to do. Also because so many shows have gotten so expensive. I've talked about this a little bit in previous videos, but conventions are expensive to do now. It's very difficult to find a convention that's at an entry-level cost for beginner artists, and that's been really frustrating. And even for seasoned artists, a lot of times larger shows are just unreasonable at this point. So it's been hard to find events I want to do that are also reasonably priced, that I feel safe traveling to. Surprise, a big part of the reason I've been in survival mode is because I'm a trans person living in America. I recognize I only have so much control over these things, but a facet of that includes I am aware of my safety outside of where I live. I feel very safe where I live. I don't necessarily feel safe traveling to a lot of places. There are a few furry cons that I have considered attending, considered flying out to, driving out to, whatever. Like, I want to do more furry cons. Furry cons are so much fun. I love doing them. Some of my best events that I've ever done have been furry shows. But right now I don't really feel great about doing that. Depending on the location. So there's a lot of events like that that I have had to not apply to or decline for one reason or another. I want to reevaluate my approach to events, and that includes farmers markets, craft fairs, conventions. So I promise this tangent is related. My wife and I were really expecting to buy a house this year, and it just did not happen, and that's fine. It's kind of hard to time these things, I have been learning. I really had to scale back this year because of, you know, being in survival mode, taking care of myself, taking care of my family. But I also need to kind of change my approach, especially because I don't know what my moving schedule is looking like. I don't know when we're going to end up moving. I don't know when we're going to end up buying a place. We are planning with a fair amount of certainty that whenever we end up buying a place, we won't be able to move into it right away, because I'm sure we're going to be having to fix up a lot of things, and that's totally fine. But because of all that, it's kind of hard to plan out where I'm going to be time-wise. My goal that I would love to do is do like a seasonal farmers market where you are going to the same market like every Saturday for the summer. There's a few of those up here in northern Colorado. I would love to do something like that. I worry about not being able to commit to every weekend is kind of the problem I've run into. I've also learned a lot of those markets can be really hard to get into if you are not necessarily selling like fresh goods, fresh produce. It's a lot harder if you're selling like a crafted item, which is totally fine. I completely understand that. Probably one of the biggest things I want to do is a pretty big merch overhaul. In wanting to buy a house, wanting to move, I have had to reevaluate what stock I actually want to keep on my person. Not on my person, but like in my space. I've really become aware of the stock of my work that doesn't sell very quickly, that I've had to just like drag around between moving. it's kind of a nightmare to deal with it, to be honest. I want to really do an audit on the merchandise I sell at conventions and what actually is selling, what isn't selling, what sells better on my Etsy, what sells better through wholesaling, things like that. So part of that is going to involve essentially going through all my stock and getting rid of a bunch of stuff. Generally, the best way to do that for me, I found, is to just do sales or like grab bags or things like that. Grab bags have worked really well for me in person at conventions, but it's hard to set up those grab bags when I'm not necessarily doing as many events. So I need to figure out a better way to have grab bags online. A lot of my bigger prints I think I'm going to be cycling out. I don't know that I'll cycle out every design especially because my Sly Cooper print continues to be my best selling print, which I think is very sweet. One of the biggest facets of merch overhauling I want to do is my stickers. My stickers are my best selling product by far. They always have been. They have been for years, honestly. I am definitely at the point where I need to cycle out old designs, retire some designs, redo some designs to make them more relevant, more current, more aligned with my current art style. And then I have a lot of new sticker designs I want to do as well. And part of wanting to overhaul my stickers will also involve wanting to prioritize wholesale. I've done a little bit of wholesaling the past few years and I love it. It's such a nice way to do passive income as an artist, especially if you have little things like stickers that you can like easily replicate a lot of in bulk. If you are an artist and you are wanting to get into wholesaling your work, I highly recommend checking out thepeachfuzz.co. They put together this whole how to do wholesaling thing for beginners. I'll have to find the exact page. I don't have it in front of me currently, but I will put a link to it in the description as well. It was a wonderful introduction to how to wholesale using Fair, how to reach out to shops for becoming your stockists, how to create line sheets, all that kind of stuff. Wholesaling definitely takes a big amount of work up front, especially because you have to have a larger amount of stock up front if you're going to be wholesaling, but it has been definitely worth it for me. It's been a very good way to get my art in more locations. And it's been really rewarding for me when my stockists reorder from me. That makes me feel really good that they're wanting to restock my products. I want to figure out what my commissions system looks like. I haven't been able to do commissions in so long and I really miss doing them. My dog portraits are one of my favorite things I get to do, and I don't get to do them nearly as often as I would like to. I know part of it is they are my biggest ticket item at my booth when I'm tabling, so that's one of the reasons. I have an artist account on VGen that I am working on building up. I only have a couple options on there right now, and I would like to further expand. I really want to further expand doing digital commissions, especially because then I don't have to worry about shipping something out. I would love to work out a way to do digital versions of my Renaissance pet portrait paintings, because again, they're so much fun to do. I know they're expensive. I know they're pretty pricey. So I'm kind of hoping that if I can do a digital version, I could make the price like a little bit more reasonable for people. So, and then I want to talk about kind of my general plans for YouTube and my general desire to, I want to figure out like, where do I put my art online? I don't know what to do with my art these days. Honestly, I would love suggestions from people. I have been so discouraged to share my art anywhere on social media. I'm discouraged specifically because of AI scraping. I don't really care about numbers or anything like that. I pretty much have stopped sharing my art on my Instagram, which for a long time was my biggest audience, the biggest source of traffic for me. And I haven't posted anything on there that isn't an announcement of an event I'm at or a convention I'm doing in a very long time. So because of that, I haven't wanted to post my art there, even though I had cultivated kind of an audience throughout the years. So that's been really frustrating. I'm not on Twitter. I'm trying to use Blue Sky, but again, I'm an old man. I need to learn social media piecemeal. One of the reasons why I started uploading on YouTube was because, two reasons really. One is because I wanted somewhere that I felt like I could post my art and not have to think about AI scraping so much. And I mean, I don't even know if YouTube has anything like that or not, or any protections against that. It very well may not, and that's just more things I have to deal with. But yeah, I wanted to start my YouTube channel so that I would have a place that I could share my art, that I felt comfortable doing that. And the second reason was I wanted to establish a schedule for myself for uploading, to hold myself accountable to try to make something on a regular schedule, whether that's like making digital art or making paintings or trying a new medium, or my transfigure of history videos, which I've loved doing. They're just a lot of work. They're a lot of time researching and editing and like stuff that isn't seen in the video necessarily. I'm really proud of myself that I have been able to stay regularly uploading videos and content and stuff on here. At the time of recording this, I am currently at 132 subscribers, which is wonderful. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to see the community that like is kind of starting to build around my channel. I really want to like nurture that and foster that. I think eventually I'll want to do something with my Patreon. I don't have anything on there, so don't go looking for it. But I think that that might eventually be something that I look into, especially or like a Discord or something like that. I don't know. So this video that you're currently watching is my last video for 2025. Once again, I'm really proud of myself for being able to stick with a schedule for this point. I am going to be changing my schedule though. So I am going to be taking some time off for the rest of the year and then a little bit in the beginning of next year. And I am going to be switching upload days. So I will next be uploading a video on Thursday, January 15th, not the Friday. I wanted to move my upload day to slightly earlier in the week, and honestly, I might even move it to a Wednesday. I haven't fully decided yet, but I needed something that was earlier in the week so that I could spend the following day like responding to comments and stuff. I know the YouTube algorithm like really loves anything in the first 24 hours of uploading a video. If I want to be mindful of that and like help my videos to do well, I was ending up having to work on the weekends on Saturdays essentially. And when you work from home and you work for yourself, you really have to be very strict with your scheduling and when you allow yourself to be clocked in versus clocked out. I can't let myself work outside of a Monday through Friday. Unless I'm at an event or something, I will just go insane and become a workaholic. So with that, uploads are going to be moving to Thursdays in the following year. Another kind of updatey type thing is I have been streaming very casually over on my Twitch, which is the same username as my YouTube, Eli Benik. It's just my name. I don't really have a schedule over there. I don't really know if I'm going to make one, to be honest. I'm trying to just enjoy having a space where I can play video games and be silly. My wife also joins me pretty often when I'm playing games. I made this little PNGtuber a few years ago and I've done a little bit of streaming with it, and I have it set up so that I can do like a gaming version or a drawing version of it, which I think is really cute. Okay, so the program I've used for my PNGtuber is called PNGtuber Plus by Kairos, and I know that they have a Ko-fi that you can support them on, and then you can download the actual PNGtuber Plus through itch.io, and it's a pay what you want kind of thing, so you can support them that way as well. You can do all kinds of things to set like the talking speed and like blink speed and any other animations you want to do. The new PNGtuber I set about doing for my wife and I is very simple. It's just the base and then like an open and closed mouth and then like eyes blinking. I didn't even do like separate mouth syncing or anything like that. I wasn't gonna bother. I'm sure I could get really in the weeds with it and have like the mouths on the PNGtuber activate for like the appropriate mics activating, but for something I'm just doing for fun, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, feel free to stop by and check out my Twitch for some casual game streams and stuff. I am working on a VOD channel. It's not that polished or anything, but I will link it in the description below if you would prefer to do that. I don't blame you for not wanting to watch VODs on Twitch. It is awful. And truthfully, Twitch has not been like the ideal platform for streaming, and I feel like everyone who streams on Twitch says that. I've yet to try streaming on YouTube. Maybe that's something I'll try in the new year. Who knows? This next one I'm a little bit like nervous to say on camera because it's gonna like make me be held accountable for it. I want to build a tattooing portfolio. I have thought about pursuing a tattooing apprenticeship off and on for the past like decade or so. A very good friend of mine, Dalen, who is at Blackbird Inc. in Longmont, and you should definitely get a tattoo from them, started their tattooing apprenticeship not too long ago. It's been so wonderful to watch them heal in their own way from a lot of the stress that they've had about doing their art and finding a way that they can do their art in a medium that they love and not have the like pressure of the comic industry or the convention industry on them. It's been so cool, and I'm so happy for them. That's kind of all been in the back of my head, sort of encouraging me to like actually start pursuing it and taking it seriously and building up a portfolio that would be suitable for tattooable art. It makes it feel like it's actually possible that it could be something I do someday. Ideally, what I would like to do is to make videos documenting that portfolio process and what it actually looks like to take my pre-existing art to change it to make it more tattooable. And tattooable might not even be the right word, but for example, a lot of my sticker art I would love to rework into tattoo designs or tattoo flash designs or something like that. Because a lot of them, I really love the artwork, I love the concept, but a lot of it I just need to update to my current skill level. And that goes back to my general merch sticker overhaul update. I want to do more traditional art in general. It's, again, kind of hard given my current setup because a lot of my traditional stuff is packed because we're moving and whatnot. It's been hard to want to do a lot of traditional art when like I have to go into a box to dig out my paint and then pack it all up when I'm done kind of thing and put it back in a box. I just don't have space to have my art supplies out 24/7, which is what I would prefer. I miss having my markers out and everything. Part of wanting to do more traditional art as well is with building a tattooing portfolio, I want to take digital pieces that I've done and rework them to be traditional pieces, as well as doing digital sketches of things and then printing it out to do the line art traditionally with pen and ink. Anyway, yeah, I've asked some of the people close to me personally to gently bully me into working on a tattooing portfolio, and I would like to ask you, the internet, to also gently bully me into doing that. If I give the internet permission to bully me, will they actually do it? I talked about my schedule for uploading. I talked about my streaming stuff. Some of this I'm not going to talk about just because it's more personal than work related, and that's fine. One of the things I wrote down for myself is I want to be excited to get up and work for myself. And that's what I am trying to take with me going into the new year. I really want to find ways to make myself excited to make my art and to work on my business. It's hard to work from home and work for yourself and own your own business. It's hard enough to do all that. It's even harder when you don't really have a space of your own to do any of that. That has been one of the most challenging things about our current living situation is we are sharing space with people right now. I want to figure out ways that I can be passionate about my art with the limited space that I have. Honestly, I wouldn't mind advice about that if y'all have any, about feeling like you can kind of make space for yourself even if you don't have any. I think I'm going to talk a little bit more about my PNGtuber stuff here that I was putting together. You'll have seen the artwork by now. I based the new PNGtuber artwork from my original little single PNGtuber of myself that I had made. I wanted to keep it very simple. I wanted to make sure the lines and colors were bold enough that you could that it was readable from a small scale. A funny thing I tried to figure out how to incorporate was my beard, actually. I am not used to really drawing myself with a beard. I tend to grow out my beard during the winter, and the longer I've been on testosterone, the more bearded I become. So I haven't quite figured out a way that I want to depict having a beard in chibi form, but it's something that is important to me with my gender expression. As far as how my beard turned out at this, I think it's cute. I don't know that it's entirely accurate, but again, I'm figuring out how to do this as I go. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I got my wife in there, and she has this beautiful curly hair and the ends are kind of highlighted, and her favorite color is purple. She's my wife, I love her. So yeah, once everything is all rigged up, it'll be set up so that when we're talking, the little mouths will open and sync with the microphones, and I think that'll be really cute. Thank you all so very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you would like to comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff helps me out a ton. I really appreciate it. As a reminder, I will be taking some time off here, and my next video will be uploaded Thursday, January 15th of next year. In the meantime, if you would like to watch me stream games and be a little hooligan on Twitch, I am there at Eli Benik as well. And my VOD channel for those uploads will be in the description below. If y'all have any New Year's resolutions, especially art-related goals or art business related goals, I would love to hear about them. Please feel free to leave those in the comments below. I think that's it. I will see y'all in the next one. which is next year. Huh. Anyway, goodbye.